Okay, so a quick disclaimer before we get started. I am by no means an expert in any of the things that you're about to watch me do. I am just a hobbyist, trying things out, experimenting and seeing what works. I do not recommend any of the techniques that you see me use in these videos, and if you do choose to copy them, do so at your own risk. So with that said, enjoy the video. Okay, so now that these are mostly dry, I've put the parts that don't need retrobrighting here, and the parts that do need retrobrighting here, because they don't all need it, to be honest. These are absolutely fine. I've compared the if you can see, that's a part that's usually covered, so it's not been that's the colour it should be, and that's the darkened colour. You can see that this is the same colour as the part that's not covered. Sorry, as the part that is covered. So it just doesn't need retrobrighting, so there's no point in wasting time and energy doing that. So I can just leave that over there. Those parts are all fine. These parts, however, you can see quite clearly that is much lighter than this. Again, that's much lighter than this part. That's just obviously really yellowed. This is the one that does need it. This one actually doesn't, but I've got it here for comparison. These buttons are all sort of fairly discoloured on the tops, so I'm going to just do those. The bottom of this is fine, but it is the sides that need it, and the front. And then where I've sprayed the cling film on this area, it will just really kind of saturate the entire front part of the controller port, which is what we want. Now the great thing about this procedure is it doesn't actually affect the plastic that's the right colour. So if I spray this whole thing, it will only lighten the parts of it that are actually affected by, by the yellowing process. Okay, so there we go. That will keep them all upright, facing towards the light at the top of the retrobrighting salon. And now it's time to show you the retrobrighting salon, so let's do that. This is the retrobrighting salon. It's just an old box that is quite shallow, and I've coated the inside with tin foil, and there is an LED ultraviolet strip light. I'm going to just turn that on. So you can see it's got ultraviolet lights, and when you close this lid, the light reflects off all the tinfoil and just basically saturates the pieces that you put in here with ultraviolet light. That will react with the hydrogen peroxide and it will actually restore the original colour of the plastic. So let's go ahead and put the pieces into the box. Now this is probably big enough for these parts that I've done so far. And it's quite shallow, so the light is really concentrated. When I close this, it's the light is right near these, so it's really concentrated onto the plastic parts because of how shallow the box is. However, because that's good for these parts, but I am going to have to make another one of these for the top case and the base as well. For now though, let's pop these guys into the salon and let them tan nicely. Probably take a couple of days really to fully get back to how they should be, so we'll leave them in there and see how they get on. So just a quick update on the progress of these. As you can see, the purple lid has come up absolutely beautifully. If I turn this over so you can see the underside, this is one of the purple buttons and it's the exact same colour. I'm not sure if you can see in this light, to be honest, but it is the exact same colour as the underside. Okay, so then I flip that over and then check it again against this, and again they're the same colour. So it's the purple bits are fine. This just needs a bit longer, I think. The power button's fine. Again, if I turn this over and put the power button through one of these holes, you can see that it's the same colour as the back. And the back is obviously the part that's not been affected. Whereas if I flip it over, you can see that it's slightly lighter than this, and this bit is still slightly yellowed in comparison to the button. So that is going to need a bit longer. Same for the memory card slot cover as well. That just needs just a little bit longer in the salon, just to really brighten it up. But I'm more than happy with this button, and I'm more than happy with these parts. I think they've come up really nicely. So I'm going to put those to one side. I'm going to put these back in the salon, and then we'll see how it is in another day or so. Okay, so these have had an extra day in the Retrobrighting salon, so we'll take them out now and see how they look. Okay, so I've given these a good rinse and a dry off, and as you can see, they're now looking much better. For now, I've got a melamine foam sponge. I had a load of these sent in the post. The ASMR community would go nuts for these. They're really, they're very squishy. I'm going to put a bit of IPA onto the melamine foam sponge. These are also known as magic erasers. And I don't know if you can see, but there's a little sort of black mark in the centre there. That's been there since I got it, and I'm going to see if this can take it off. It's coming off. Brilliant. I guess that's why they call them magic erasers. Look at that. Gone. Okay, so I gave these just a few more hours in the Retrobrighting salon, and I'm pretty happy with how they are. I don't think they're going to get much greyer than that. So what I'm going to do now is just take a little bit of oil, this is just normal lemon oil for guitar fretboards, and I'm just going to apply a very light coating of oil to the plastic. This will just help to condition the plastic and give it a nice finish as well. So yeah, as you can see, it's all shimmery at the moment. I'm just going to keep buffing until the plastic has soaked up all of the oil. Oh, smells lovely. Okay, there we go. So, as you can see, it's now gorgeously clean. It's got a nice, ever so slight sheen to it now, and that oil will help to condition the plastic and keep it from going brittle or anything like that. I'll do the same for this little guy as well. And there we have it. I'm going to call it on these. I think these are finished now. All that remains now is to wait for the new set of UV lights to arrive, because I've had to make a larger Retrobrighting box for the top piece because it's a bit too deep to go in my existing Retrobrighting box. This one, but it fits perfectly in here. So in the next episode I'm going to be looking at what I can do about these chips in the base of it. Hopefully there is something I can do about that. So yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this. Hope you find it useful. And I'll see you again in the next video.